I'm Kenton Rowe. I'm a photographer out of Helena, Montana. I've done work for National Geographic, teaching for them. I'm kind of a unique photographer in that I've done a lot of work for conservation agencies, but also the hunting industry. And I love making images that tell a story, that grab people's attention. About a year ago this time, I got a call from David Strandberg asking me if I might be interested in a project for a new brand called Pnuma, and he started talking to me about bringing this product to life in a new way that really captured the spirit of hunting. There's a lot of things that really stuck out to me. Primarily that it was a completely new product, that I wasn't trying to mimic something somebody else had done. It was almost billed as testing the equipment. It was a photography project. Being in Montana, it required a lot more out of me. First of all, one of the objectives was to use real hunters, not models that didn't know their way around a bow. And they were guys that I knew from the Helena community that had a lot of experience bow hunting. Just logistically, first of all, finding a cook that could come during that time of year for a few days, scheduling a outfitter that had a pack train that we could use for the shoot. There's a lot of uniqueness to this project that I had not had to deal with before. One of the things that we were looking for is every image was bringing the story of Pnuma to life, the story of a hunter who's not just a casual hunter, the guy who goes out and is living in the woods for a couple of days. The imagery was really about pulling some of that out. I know one of the images that I think everybody's seen now is the hunter crossing the beaver dam at night, and that image is about you sit in the tree stand or you stalk until it's dark, and then you gotta trail out back to your camp or your vehicle, whatever it is. But it's capturing images that told that story. Montana was a great place for shooting Pnuma. Geographically, there is so many different variations. So you have the high mountain alpine, you have the Missouri River badlands, and because of that variety, it offers a lot of opportunities to show the gear being used in areas where it really would. But we also needed to show that it would work in eastern environments too, in the way that hunters in the East hunt. The terra pattern I found could work in both alpine and the Missouri River Breaks badlands, but I also needed to show its effectiveness in tree stands, show it in against hardwood forest trunks. I was blown away with how well it matched the greens that are actually in the tree trunks and that sort of thing. As a nature photographer, concealment is very important for me. Just 2 weeks ago, I was stalking and camped out at the edge of a fox family's den, and I want to be able to conceal myself to the place where even an adult is not going to blow out. You know, anybody can sit back from a distance with a big lens and get spectacular shots. To get the animal living in its environment and interacting, and you need to be close on that. And so concealment has been an important part of my work for a long time, and when I teach classes, I talk about lenses and camera bodies, but I talk about gear too, and what I wear. And as I was looking at the Pnuma brand, the pattern of camouflage, that's kind of my standard. I want it I want to be able to tell stories of being able to get close to wildlife the way that I've done with my ghillie suit or other camouflages. I really like the Pnuma pattern, the Pnuma color palette for concealment. The other thing about this brand that I really appreciated was after 8 days of having our models, quote unquote models, climbing up mountains, wading through rivers, up and down, trading gear, was we threw it all in a box, and I had to send it to Minnesota. And after it sat overnight, after all these different guys had worn it and sweat in it and waded through water in it, I opened the box and I expect just a stench to come out, and I was blown away by the anti-odor properties of the product. It was amazing, and after about 2 days of gear that I'm used to using, it's starting to smell pretty fresh, and not in a good way. I took it out of the box so I could fold it up nicely, and then put it back in the box and shipped it off. When I called to confirm, one of my first questions to David was, so did you pass out from the smell? And he didn't, even though that we'd put it through all that, that sweat and grime, and it wasn't mildewy. Working on this project, bringing the Pnuma brand to life has been a great honor. Time out in the field, showing hunters with their respect for the land, for the respect for the animals that they're going after, and bringing that all to life was one of the greatest projects I've had the opportunity to work on. And it was a lot of fun to work with the folks at Pnuma.